Good morning and welcome to On the Spot News right here on Zimbabwe Daily. My name is Yvonne Muchaka. Let us take a look at the news making the headlines. MPs blast ministers for bunking parliament. Key 2017 coup plotter says Mnangagwa will not give power to Chiwenga. Government officials complicit in human trafficking. Susan Mutami files rape charges against President Mnangagwa. Slain Moreblessing Ali's family goes in hiding. In business, Zim misses out on G7 stimulus package. Chillies changing lives in Chimanimani. And in sports, CAF says new ZIFA executive is illegitimate. And now for the news in detail. Members of Parliament have expressed outrage at the repeated failure to attend House of Assembly business by some cabinet ministers and accused the executive branch of government of disrespecting the legislature. During last Wednesday's question time, Speaker Jacob Mudenda read out a list of more than a dozen cabinet and deputy ministers who had apologized for failing to attend the session. Most had chosen to attend the groundbreaking ceremony for the 500 million Cyber City project in the capital by President Emmerson Mnangagwa. Opposition Mtare Central MP Innocent Gonese said the absences were unacceptable, citing regular no-shows by the likes of Vice President Constantino Chiwenga, who is also the Minister of Health, as well as Foreign Affairs Minister Frederick Shawa and local government counterpart July Moyo. A key member of the clique that planned and executed President Robert Mugabe's ouster through a 2017 coup has said his successor Emmerson Mnangagwa will not cede power to Deputy Constantino Chiwenga, as was allegedly planned. Godfrey Tsinengam was eventually chased out of the ruling party following his continued pursuit of Mnangagwa benefactor Kudakwaje Tagwire for corruption, said that ZANU-PF members do not have the courage to stand up to him or demand his exit. Senengamu, alongside Mnangagwa's former advisor, Christopher Mtswangwa, then war veteran minister Victor Mtemadanda, and the military played a central role in installing Mnangagwa leader in 2017. They openly challenged the then seemingly powerful Mugabe, galvanized support for Mnangagwa, and sought Chiwenga as his deputy. A new report has exposed government complicity in human trafficking, with the authorities failing to act on several cases involving abuse of local and foreign nationals. According to the United Nations State Department Trafficking in Persons report on Zimbabwe, there is no political will to fight human trafficking. Some officials are said to be protecting the culprits. The report notes that there has not been any trial or conviction of government officials engaged in human trafficking, even amid allegations that some officials are facilitating for Zimbabweans to go into forced labor in countries like Oman and Kuwait. A controversial young Zimbabwean woman, Susan Mutami, based in Australia with high level ZANU PF and government links, has drummed a bombshell. She has accused President Emmerson Mnangagwa of raping and repeatedly abusing her as a minor at only 15. The 33-year-old woman who lived with President Mnangagwa and his wife Auxilia as a teenager has filed rape charges against the 79-year-old ZANU-PF leader with the Queensland Police Service in Australia. The family of slain Citizens Coalition for Change activist Moreblessing Ali have been wounded out of their Chitungwiza house by ZANU-PF activists, while suspected state security agents are periodically visiting the home, instilling fear. The family were driven out of their St. Mary's home soon after Triple C held a prayer meeting at Moreblessing's home on 13 June. The prayer meeting was attended by Triple C leader Nelson Chamisa and other senior party officials. Family members said that Moreblessing's son Silence and brother Wellington are in hiding since being hunted out of their home. Moreblessing was kidnapped by a ZANU-PF activist, Pius Jamba, in Natsime on 24 May, and her dismembered body was found in a disused well on the 11th of June. Jamba was arrested in Urungwe 5 days after the body was discovered at his mother's plot. He indicated that he killed Moreblessing soon after abducting her. Moreblessing's body had still not been buried 2 months after her murder. Among these other stipulations, the family are insisting that they will only bury her upon the release of their lawyer, Job Sikala, who was at the forefront of demanding justice for Ali. Sikala has been incarcerated for over 3 weeks alongside Chitunguza North Member of Parliament Godri Stole being charged with inciting public violence. For more of these and other stories, feel free to visit our website on www.zimdaily.com or follow, like, and share our content on our social media handles on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok. Join us after this short break. Contractors being awarded jobs by the government are dumping huge sums of money on the black market to get United States dollars, fueling inflation and the collapse of the local currency, legislators said during question time on Wednesday. The legislators wanted to know what government was doing about this and wanted Finance Minister Mthuli Ncube to respond, but were told he's likely to do so when he presents his midterm review next week. Leader of government business Ziyambi said the central bank's financial intelligence unit was monitoring transactions when these companies were paid. Independent legislator Themba Mliswa blamed Chinese contractors, saying infrastructure jobs should be given to local contractors as they have no need to externalize money. The appetite for the greenback by those with huge sums of money is clearly demonstrated by rates published by Zim Price Check. Zimbabwe missed out on a G7 backed multi billion-dollar stimulus package designed to help countries of the global south weather economic shocks caused by the COVID-19 pandemic. The reason for the country's exclusion is the failure to pay arrears to international financial institutions, Finance Minister Tuli Ncube has said. The COVID 19 pandemic has precipitated an unprecedented economic crisis worldwide with disastrous social consequences. After 25 years of continuous growth, Africa was severely hit and suffered recession in 2020. Despite receiving a quota-based allocation of nearly 1 billion United States dollars from the International Monetary Fund last year, Harare was ineligible to receive more financial support after its debt stock ballooned over the years. The country defaulted on arrears payments at the turn of the millennium, resulting in the failure to access long term funding from the multilateral lenders such as the World Bank, International Monetary Fund, and the African Development Bank. While Zimbabwe is drowning in debt and making frantic efforts to get debt forgiveness and bridge finance to pay off arrears from the world's wealthiest economies, neighboring Zambia is now on the cusp of inking a relief agreement thanks to the goodwill currently being enjoyed by President Hakainde Hichilema's administration. Since his ascendancy to the helm last year, Hichilema has been working around the clock, promising creditor that he would place the copper exporting country back on track. The former opposition leader inherited huge foreign public debt of at least 14 billion United States dollars from his predecessor Edgar Lungu. In promoting a culture of transparency, Hichilema, among other key reforms, cancelled public projects costing more than 2 billion United States dollars and strengthened parliament's oversight role. This is unlike in Zimbabwe, where parliament had until recently been relegated to an institution for rubber stamping executive decisions pushed by the governing party. In other news, a 33-year-old suspect was arrested at the Beitbridge border post on Saturday for attempting to smuggle commercial explosives into the country. The suspect was arrested at about 1:30 a.m. as he crossed into South Africa from Zimbabwe. According to police, the suspect was arrested after his truck was stopped, and upon searching it, they discovered commercial explosives concealed inside four big bags. Members of the Messina Explosives Unit attended the scene at Beitbridge border post, and three reels of detonating cord and at least 769 units of blasting cartridges were confiscated. Limpopo Police Commissioner Lieutenant General Tembi Hadebe commended the members for their vigilance as manifested during the interception of the alleged smuggler. The suspect is expected to appear in the Messina Magistrate Court on Monday, 25 July, on a charge of smuggling and possession of explosives. We take another short break. We take a look at sports news. The Confederation of African Football (CAF) says the recently appointed ZIFA executive, led by Gift Banda, is illegitimate and should, among other things, stop using the funds deposited by CAF or FIFA in the ZIFA bank accounts. In a later dated 20 July 2022 address to the Secretary General of ZIFA, CAF General Secretary Veron Masengo Omba said ZIFA's suspension is still in place and will only be lifted once the stipulated conditions are met. The conditions include SRC reinstating Felton Kamombe and Joseph Mamutse, and the Commission withdrawing a court case against the pair. Arsenal continued their impressive season form last night with a fantastic performance in a 4-0 victory over Premier League rivals Chelsea. Michael Arteta's side appear to be approaching the upcoming 2022-2023 campaign with real momentum behind them, with their new addition seamlessly fitting into the project being built at the club. And defending Formula One champion Max Verstappen won the French Grand Prix on Sunday after Charles Leclerc crashed out as Ferrari's was resurfaced, falling 63 points behind the Red Bull driver in the championships. Lewis Hamilton finished second in his 300th GP, securing a fourth straight podium, while George Russell overtook Sergio Perez's Red Bull following a virtual safety car restart late in the race to give Mercedes its first podium double of the season. And we take a look at what has been happening in the region. Right, we come back to Chillies changing lives in Chimanimani. Youth in Chimanimani are smiling all the way to the bank after a good harvest of chilies for export, thanks to the Empower Bank funded project, which was expertly spearheaded by the lead farmer at Dombera Farm. A 10-hectare piece of land was put under chilies production, with a total of 70 youth from Chimanimani district near Dombera Farm tending the crop. The youth have an average of zero point 0.1 hectares each. In an interview, Empower Bank Mutare branch manager Mr. Hilary Nyanungo said they injected funding into the project after the identification of a lead farmer to coordinate the production and export of the project of the produce. The project is now set to expand to 20 hectares to accommodate more youth in the area. Mr. Nyanongo confirmed that the biggest producer realized more than $700 after sales of the produce. Wow, congratulations to those young people who are doing well. Land to the people, land to the youth. Thank you so much for tuning in for our news bulletin. Now, to end this bulletin, we take a look at the news making the headlines once again. MPs blast ministers for bunking parliament. Key 2017 coup plotter says Mnangagwa will not give power to Chiwenga. Government officials complicit in human trafficking. Susan Mutami files rape charges against President Mnangagwa. Slain Moreblessing Ali's family goes in hiding. In business, Zim misses out on G7 stimulus package. Chillies changing lives in Chimanimani. And in sports, CAF says new ZIFA executive is illegitimate. Thank you so much for tuning in on to Zimbabwe Daily. My name is Yvonne Muchaka. Have yourselves a wonderful rest of day.